okay. Help. Help. The yawn's too big. Okay. I don't even want to know what this is. I don't want to know. I feel like it's gonna ruin my childhood. Like, high key feel like it's gonna make my childhood not okay. What? This is so loud.
Nice try, but remember, O for out.
Okay.
I've been thinking about my desk, and no, I don't mean all of the tech on top of my desk.
Yeah.
I mean the literal desktop.
Desk.
What if the desk wasn't just
We're
furniture,
talking about the
but
wood,
instead
the
a
grain.
tool for productivity? Not by adding more screens, but by using soft projected light that blends in with my mouse and keyboard. I
That's
decided I
insane, bro.
wanted to take this crazy idea and
How you
try
do
to
that?
make it real. And I'm calling it the Glow Desk because, well, it's a desk that glows. And even though
Wait,
I
did he
think
do
I have
it?
the tech to make this idea real, what I don't know is if the Glow Desk is actually useful or if this crazy idea should have just stayed in my head. So in today's
No,
video,
bro,
I'll
I
show
would
you
get
all
that.
the hardware and
Chat, wouldn't you
software
get
I
that?
used to put this desk together and all of the wonderful mistakes I made along the way. Let's go. First step, I'm gonna need a desk. And because this is just an experiment and I don't really know how it's gonna go, I'm just gonna use my
this,
unboxing table
like,
instead of
art
trying to
wall.
move
It's
one
so
of my
good.
big desks, because if this all goes terribly wrong, well, at least it's just a table. Then I threw in a keyboard and a monitor and hey, I've got a desk. And yes, as most of you are probably expecting, the Glow Desk concept is powered by an overhead projector. The exact model of this projector is not important, for reasons that will become obvious later in the video. Right now, all you need to know is how I mounted the projector above my desk. I have this metal articulating arm mounted to the wall that I use to hold up studio lights. I realized this
smart.
articulating arm is perfect for the Glow Desk experiment because it's super adjustable, which will allow me to get the location of
That's
the
that
projector
free will.
dialed in
See,
for
this
this
is what I
setup.
like to
Now, to
see.
make this
People
Glow Desk
doing
do
free
anything
will
at all,
shit.
I'm gonna need a computer to power everything. I
Yeah.
need something powerful but also small to not take up too much space on top of the desk.
Gonna
So a
do
huge
Linux?
shout out to the team at B-Link for sending me this
Oh,
micro
no.
PC, which runs Windows 11 and takes up
does.
almost no space on the desk. And
I
after getting
literally
the
bought that. I literally bought that computer. It's not great. It computes.
computer hooked up and moving the desk and projector around for the better part of an hour, I finally turned everything on and got a taste of success.
Okay.
Yeah, I made this little glowing box that goes around
I
my mouse
love
and
that for
keyboard.
him.
It's pretty sweet.
That
and
is pretty
no,
sweet, I'm not
it
gonna lie
doesn't
to
do
you.
anything. But at least I know this concept isn't completely crazy. Hopefully everything is going to work. Okay, let me pause for a second to explain what's going on here. This entire setup is very simple. This is just a computer that is running two displays at the same time. One HDMI
Okay.
cable is connected to the main monitor, and the other is running up to the projector. These glowing lines you see around my keyboard are just a custom wallpaper. You see, when a projector displays a black image, it essentially is projecting nothing. So to create this outline effect, I just measured my keyboard and created a box about that size in Photoshop and made the rest of the image black. And I know this is a very basic proof of concept, but all of the other demos I'm about to show you build on this basic custom wallpaper. Oh, also I spent like 30 minutes
But
coloring my
like-
keyboard using the projector. It's like those really cool projection mapping shows you see at theme parks, except I'm just using Microsoft Paint and everything's less impressive. And moving on, my first order of business was
Why
to
did
come
he
up with
need
a
to
sort
do
of
that?
dashboard for the desk. I wanted things that were normally
But
on
how can he
paper, like
touch it?
to-do lists
I just want to get to the part where he can touch it.
or a calendar, to be in a digital format on the surface of my desk. And of course, this led me back to an old classic, Rainmeter. Rainmeter allows you to create widgets that float on your desktop and can display information, which is perfect for this project. I installed Rainmeter
Shut
on
the
the
front
PC
door.
and then downloaded a
Shut the front door. Shut the front. Hold on, chat. We're gonna get back to the video. I just need to down. Hold on. I just need to download this. Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you for your
a
patience.
rain meter skin called Monterey, which I will link below. And yes,
Oh,
these
let's
widgets
make
do
it look
look like
like
clones of what you
freaking-
get on a Mac, but I chose
Yeah.
this skin because of how simple it looks. After choosing a few widgets, the next step was to update my custom wallpaper. First, I drew a few boxes around my keyboard and mouse, which prevent me from adding any widgets or projected elements onto my hands. And then I
Yeah.
drew these frames. You see, the rain meter widgets on their own look great, but when you place them in these frames, it all looks a bit more intentional. And when you combine the wallpaper and these widgets, you get the first version of my Glow Desk dashboard, and I'm really excited
like
with
that
how this
looks
is
so
coming together.
fire.
Now, eventually, I'm going to show you some Glow Desk
can't
demos that are a
tell me
bit
that
more
doesn't look
complicated.
fire.
But before we get there, let's do a tour of the setup so far. To the left of my keyboard is
Chat,
my
it's
calendar,
coming.
and
It's
below the
coming.
calendar is a widget for jotting down quick notes. At the top left corner of my desk is a
Yeah.
weather widget that is very much inspired by
read it
Apple's
on
own weather
Startup.
app, but at the center of the desk, just
shit.
above the keyboard, is probably the most useful part of the Glow Desk so far. In this frame, I have one widget that shows me system performance. I also have a Pomodoro timer, which helps me stay productive. And of course, I have a music widget, which shows me album artwork and music controls for
that's so
whatever
cool.
I'm listening to. And this is basically Glow Desk version 1.0. And no, the video is not over, because at first I thought everything was going great, but the more time I spent at the desk, the more I realized that this wasn't going to work. The biggest problem is projector resolution. My current projector has an output resolution of 1280 by 720, aka 720p. For example, on my dashboard, some widgets like the weather forecast look okay, but others like the notes widget are basically unusable because the text is just too blurry at this resolution. Also, my current projector is not that bright. I had to turn off most of the lights in my office to make it work. It's probably not a good thing for my eyesight. I wanted to use the Glow Desk for design projects, for creating mood boards and sketching and tracing images. I have so many creative ideas in my head, but this low resolution projector is holding the entire project
Gotta get a
back.
new one.
But that's when I received an incredibly well-timed email.
Sponsor?
I was contacted by a company called Valerian, and as luck would have it, Valerian makes some pretty impressive projectors and home theater equipment. And I was really
Yeah.
excited, but I had to be honest. I told them that I don't make home theater videos and that I'm not an influencer and I wouldn't post any reviews of their projector, but I did tell them I was working on the Glow Desk project and that I was in need of a high-resolution projector to really make the concept work. And to my
Oh,
surprise,
that's
they
nice.
liked the pitch. The team wanted to support this project. And so they sent me this, the Valerian Vision Master Pro 2. This is a 4K laser projector. And according to ChatGPT, this means the Valerian has
That was a beautiful piece of. Oh my god, that is beautiful. We gotta get a we gotta get a projector, Chad. Like, we got just picture, put that thing and then we could put the movies. I'm bugging the fuck out. Let me calm down.
me this, the Valerian Vision Master Pro 2. This
God
is
damn,
a
that thing
4K
beautiful.
laser projector.
4K.
And according to ChatGPT, this means the
4K.
Valerian has 9 times more pixels than my old 720p projector. But before I could mount this projector above my desk, the team at Valerian asked me to at least try and use the projector in the traditional home theater way. And so I mounted the projector above this couch and hung this Valerian projection screen,
Whoa,
turned
that's
everything on to
nice
see
as
just how
fuck.
good this projector is, and oh my.
Do you know what's really
Hold
fun?
on. I need to know how much. How much? No. How much? How much? Hold on. You're not telling. Okay, here we go. Not them selling a screen is. Okay, sorry, I had to control myself there. That was crazy. Because what do you mean? Oh, it comes in. Oh, that's beautiful. And they just sent him this? Oh my god. Jeez. Literally a $3,000 device they just sent to him. Huh? Oh my gosh, bro.
Making a website on with.
Hey,
It's like every time I think I can't be a creative, like the lifestyle, it just keeps pulling me back. Damn! Just being sent cool shit for ideas that I'm just, spitballing to you? That's crazy.
so now that I know just how nice this projector is, I'm kind of terrified to mount it above the desk on my sketchy arm. I really don't want this thing to fall.
Yeah,
okay,
this thing's
time to commit.
$3,000.
Oh god, okay. That's really dumb. I should have lowered it.
Yeah, you should have lowered it, bro.
Oh, it makes me so nervous. There goes nothing. Oh,
that thing
I'm
up.
like, I don't know what the weight limit is for this light. I think we're okay. You know, one thing that holds this back from being truly practical is this big 5-foot metal arm with wires sticking off the wall.
Yeah.
Finally, it was time to test the glow
How
desk
would
with the new
you-
4K projector. And honestly, the results were incredible. This projector is a massive upgrade. At 4K resolution, all of the widgets were easy to read. Another big upgrade is the brightness. The Valerian projector is so bright that I no longer have to close the blinds or dim the lights in my office. I actually had to lower the brightness on the projector to make the widgets less distracting on the surface of the desk.
Yikes.
And because I finally had a projector that matched my vision for this concept, I was able to try out
looks
some of my
nice.
more creative test cases. My first test case was for hobby stuff. Say your hobby is building mechanical keyboards. Well, with the Glow Desk, I'm able to pin tutorial videos to the surface of the desk right next to where I'm working. Pinning these windows to the surface of the
No, that
desk is
is so
accomplished
much
using a
better.
tool called Fancy Zones, which is a part of Power Tools for Windows 11. It's basically
Makes
a
sense.
keyboard shortcut which takes a window from my main monitor and pins it to a specific place on my desk. In other words, by using Fancy Zones, I can create a custom window layout that allows me to pin windows all over the surface of my desk without having the projector shine any light on my hands or keyboard. Building on that idea, my second test case was for sketching. Say I'm designing a new desk mat and I'm sketching my ideas in a notebook or maybe on my iPad. I like to create mood boards while I'm sketching to give me inspiration. I can use the Glow Desk to pin the mood board right next to my sketchbook. I know this can be accomplished with an iPad and a piece of paper, but I found this to be a really unique experience. And my final test case is probably the most ridiculous idea in this already ridiculous video, but because this projector is so powerful, I just had to try. Yes, I created some custom screensavers for the Glow Desk.
I cannot.
Basically, when I walk up to the desk, I want to be greeted by something visually interesting and inspiring. But of course,
Yeah, no,
projectors
that's
don't
fair.
need screensavers. This serves no real purpose other than it's kind of cool to look at. To create these custom screensavers, I downloaded some stock footage and then used Adobe After Effects to make the video blend with my mouse and keyboard. And then I installed Wallpaper Engine to set this custom video file as a screensaver. I know most people watching this video are probably thinking that this is completely ridiculous and that no one in their right mind is actually going to put a projector above their desk full time. And honestly, I agree with you. The goal of this project was not to create something practical. I just wanted to see if the concept could exist in my home office and see if this concept was usable at all. And the basic answer is yes, the Glow Desk as a concept works. Having the surface of your desk display helpful information without the use of a tablet or extra monitor is awesome. And honestly, the sketching and design test case I showed earlier has some real potential. However, there are some serious drawbacks to the Glow Desk concept that I've discovered over the past few weeks. Like how even though the surface of the desk is usually a set of static widgets, the computer still has to drive a secondary 4K display, which affects system performance. Also, this projector has an amazing autofocus, but if I bump this desk, all of my widgets will be out of place, and I'll have to move this desk back to its original position for everything to work again. There's also the cost, which is significant. I
Yeah.
started this project with a budget projector in the $300 to $500 range, and while it worked, that
That's a
720p
budget
projector was
projector?
definitely not ideal. I had to darken the room, and the resolution made all of my widgets a bit too soft and fuzzy. On the other hand, the Valerian projector made the Glow Desk look incredible. But in fairness, this is a premium home theater projector, and I don't think most people are as crazy as me when it comes to gambling with such a nice projector mounted on a sketchy arm above a table. But for me personally, I think the single biggest drawback of the Glow Desk concept is the lifespan of the projector itself. Modern laser projectors like this model from Valerian can last a lot longer than the bulb-based projectors of 20 years ago, but let's be honest, these projectors are not computer monitors. These projectors were not designed to run all day for a 40-hour work week. And this concern over the lifespan of the projector is enough to keep me personally from integrating a top.
Yeah, no, that would just be wasting it. Dang, that's crazy though. Right? There's so many freaking capabilities you can do. That's really cool though.